Morning. It's August 17th, and I had some volunteer tomatoes that a friend gave us, and they were indeterminate, and we lost our tomatoes early in the season, so he brought us some over, and I planted these guys, and I had some small tomato cages that I put on them. You can kind of see the cage there, but they're outgrowing the tomato cage, and they kept growing taller and taller. So this morning, I cut up an old piece of decking lumber and then took an old 2x4 and ripped down some 1/2-inch pieces off of it and screwed them on, drove the stake in the ground. And you can see I took this twine that I have and I tied it to the top of the cage here. Let me see if I can get you in there. And then we loosely ran it around these long branches that kept spreading out real wide. And then I tied the string around there and ran it over to this side and brought it back down and wrapped it around these tomato stalks. When I grow indeterminate tomatoes, I try to pinch the suckers out of them and cut them back to two branches so they just don't grow everywhere. They get so spread out and gangly. And you can see here's another one. We ran the string from the top of the cage that was way too short for these tomatoes. Ran it loosely around the plant. Ran it up to the tee. Ran the string back down. And tied it to the cage there. And it seems to be working out just fine. We've had some pretty high winds. And this butternut squash on this yard swing kind of blocks a lot of the wind because it blows from the south coming off of this parking lot. And we was able to do the third one in there too. You see it's getting hard to get in there with all this chia. This chia is growing up taller than the tomato cage, or the tomato cages here. We're up to a little over 30 inches on this stuff. So I didn't think it'd grow that fast, but it's growing pretty fast. I'm impressed. Now with chia as a cover crop, you're not going to get the benefits of growing like legumes, beans, and stuff like that. It's not nitrogen fixing. But for biomass, we're just going to chop this stuff down in the late fall before it gets to really seeded heads on it. We're going to cut it off and kind of till it in, and that'll just give us some biomass. Basically, it's earthworm food, but it worked, and it smells great when you walk through it. But this is a video about these little tea trellises. I didn't know what I was going to do because they was spreading out past these cages about 2 foot. I got the sawdust. Let me pull that leaf off right there. It's full of sawdust. And this worked. Now I can get down my rows, and these things aren't leaning out so far that they're about to snap off by the cage. So if you're in a pinch and you got some old yard or wood that you can make a garden stake out of, there, make you a little T-post, and it might help you out in a pinch. Thanks for watching.